WE Connect is all about showing you the very best of Mahabalipuram and sometimes the very best of Chennai. And our panelists up on this stage, which is Ask Anything with Ambika, which again, I'm going to amend that. It's going to be Ask Anything related to her profession, please. This is not an Instagram Q&A. This is a learning session. And I promise you, as it is, she's going to be dropping a lot of truth bombs without any prompting. We all know that about her. She's known for her candor as much as her talent. So, for someone from Chennai to be featured in every Condé Nast publication, from Vogue to the BBC, and all the way to the New York Times, from a wedding in Pondicherry that is inspired by Van Gogh, for it to be featured by the Van Gogh Museum on their Instagram, for the entire world to be speaking about a young lass from Chennai who one day decided that she would chase her dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome on stage Ambika. And what started in Chennai has now gone all the way to Dubai and around the world and destinations, you name it. I think everyone on the panel has been discussing destinations that are trending next, be it Dubai, Ras Al Khaimah. I think you've done weddings in all of those places. And we've had incredible photographers display pictures from celebrity weddings, be it Kajal Agarwal or Nikki Galrani's wedding, or the wedding that the internet went gaga over, which is influencer Alana's wedding with Ivor, which was absolutely stunning. Not just people in India, I believe all of LA is buzzing about this wedding as well. So thank you for joining us. I'm going to request you to please be seated. Of course, we were all racking our brains. Who is it that we can get up on stage to keep up with this dynamite, with this powerhouse? And we have another person who's a homegrown talent from Chennai, who's been doing us absolutely proud. He's a stellar photographer. There are brides I know who ask for multiple muhurtams to find out when Amar Ramesh is available for them to decide when they're getting married. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking about the founder of Studio A. Please give a warm welcome to Amar Ramesh. And apart from all of his photography, Amar Ramesh is also involved in philanthropy, reviving some interesting farming techniques. He's also coming out with coffee table books on art and architecture. He's also worked with the government of Tamil Nadu, the Department of Tourism, and we love everything that you do. But over to the two of you. We look forward to this fireside chat.
Hi guys, how many of you are still sleeping? Okay. Sorry that, we're towards the fag end of it. Can we just lower this light, please?
Hey, really sorry, guys. We are holding up you all. We're literally between you and the gala night of functions and awards. So we'll keep it really short and really quick. So first, you want to show some of your work?
I actually want to ask you guys, because I think you got a lot of content already. Do you guys want to start with questions? So then we can start with questions first. Because whenever I go to the conference, everybody wants to ask a zillion questions. Vinay has raised that to me so many times. Then I said, let me just answer questions which people have. Do you want me to do that? Or do you want me to go ahead and present? Anybody for questions? Sahitya, you should take over.
Thank you. Can we have the house lights, please? Because that will make it a little bit more interactive and easier for Ambika to see who she's talking to.
I just want these lights to be. This is like.
And also, can we dim the spotlight that comes to the center that's in both of their eyes? Just give me 30 seconds. We'll have the lighting sorted for you. Again, requesting you to turn the house lights back on. Thank you.
Then you can.
So, does anybody out here have any questions? I'm happy to come around with a mic. There's Vinay right there with a question. We'll get started from there.
It had to start with Vinay. So, okay.
Again, house lights, please. And if we can keep them on, I need them on for longer than 10 seconds. Thank you.
Hi, Ambika.
Hi, Vinay. How are you?
I'm doing good. Ambika, from a Chennai designer to making your presence felt pan-India to doing international weddings, what is the one thing that has kept you going? That is my first question. And my second question is, you do celebrity weddings now, a lot of them. So what are the things that you suggest your celebrity couples to help them choose their themes or mood boards?
what keeps me going? I don't know. I think the kind of industry we are in, we are all very alpha personalities. I feel you can't be in this industry if you don't work. If you don't love your work and you work endless hours, sometimes we don't have work-life balance. I have a lot of Gen Zs in my office now who talk a lot about work-life balance, but I don't remember having one or seeking one in the last 10 years. I seek for it now, but when I was in my early 20s, I just worked hard, I worked passionately, and I worked smart. And I think that's what keeps me going is my love for design and wanting to take my designs all across the world. I lost my dad when I was 10 years old, and I think that's when I realized that life is too short and one day I'll be gone, and the only way I'll be remembered is how I made people feel and what I left as legacy with my design. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going to answer your first question. For the second question, I think celebrities are equally the same lost couples that we meet every day. Just that they have a lot of media glare on them. So a lot of it gets scrutinized. So like for Alana, when I was doing Alana Pandey's wedding right now, of course, everybody from the industry attended. She's Ananya Pandey's sister. So there was pressure on the fact that she herself has such brilliant aesthetics. If you see her Instagram feed, it was very important for me and my team and for us to study who she was. Because one thing we knew that when our pictures go online, it has to aesthetically match her feed, their love for travel and their passion for everything which is eco-friendly. So I think my brief to them is please be as open and as candid. We follow a thing at ACube where we do questionnaires. So I think that is something where we constantly ask and document what the couple is feeling or what is it that interests them, and that's the same brief. And then we pick up from their stories, we pick up from the way they dress, how their house looks, what their location is. And design is a very sensitive field because you have what I like, Amar might not like. What Alana likes, you might not like. So some people, when Architectural Digest featured the wedding, a lot of comments came in, "Arey, ye to whitewash wedding hai, it's whitewash." For the others, they're like, "Oh my God, this is the most beautiful wedding." So you have to realize that you're anyways going to be criticized. But are you true to your bride and groom? That's what I told them, that it has to be relevant for you. And 10 years from now, when you see the wedding, you should still smile and say, this was something which meant something to me. So that's what my answer is to you.
So I have an extension to the first question. You have somebody who has crossed like so many geographies and borders. For someone who's starting out, who's inspired by you, can you help them give a roadmap? Like how do they go beyond their geography?
So I heard something really nice in Spain. I just attended a conference, and they said nothing is free in 2023. So can you all say that once? Nothing is free in 2023. So why we say that is because the roadmap is that, first of all, please learn to value yourself. That's what I did. When I entered into Chennai market, there was no concept of contracts. There was no concept of a design fee. There was no concept of, designers itself, right? So I think for me, what is most important for the roadmap is that first, value yourself. Learn how to create a USP for yourself. When I say USP means you do not need to be like Abhinav Bhagat, you don't need to be like Ambika Gupta, you do not need to be like Amar, Ramesh, Sahitya Jagannathan, and all the big people who are all sitting over here. We need to be ourselves. What is it that makes you unique? Bring you into your decor, bring you into your planning, bring you through your experiences, because we are all born with such vivid experiences. So the second would be create your roadmap through your USP. When you come to networking conferences like this, how many people did you actually network with, or did you just chill with people who you knew? So the reason I go for conferences abroad is because I have done the drill of networking with my colleagues here from 2018, which was my first conference, to now. I know pretty much everybody in the industry. So when I go to a conference, sometimes I'm considered a snoot because I don't sit with people from Chennai. And that's not because I don't love them. I absolutely love and respect them. That's because I know them already. I want to go and meet people from outside of Chennai so that I can learn something from them, because I have had the opportunity of learning from Amit ji, from Preeti. Preeti ji bol sakti hu. She hates it when I call her auntie. Okay, so Preeti ma'am, everyone, like I mean, I have had the opportunity to do that. So in your network is your net worth, and it's true. The reason I could expand is because I did that not smartly or within logic. I am a people's person, but I like to meet a lot of people. So for me, that USP then led to good work, then led to network, then from network led to opportunities. Again, I had to prove my mettle. From that work, it led to where we are doing. We just did Mona Katan's function in UAE, which is Huda Beauty for anybody who knows. If somebody asks me how I did it, it's through that roadmap. It was first being recognized in Chennai. The first people who will ever give you opportunity is going to be your own city, your own people. They are the ones who are going to trust you first. Then you use social media tools, it will go out. From social media, you go on to platforms like Wedding Sutra, where you get your work out, you get into the network, people start talking if your work is good. So work is good is the first and the only thing which remains constant. Like they say in Lady Gaga's words, your work will never get up and say, I'm not into you. So, yeah, concentrate on that.
I love it. You're quoting Lady Gaga, but we're all going to take home from the fact that just because we're from Chennai, you're not going to sit next to us, huh? We've all noted that fact.
I sit with them. Please, yeah, stop sabotaging me. I always sit with them. I'm just saying that
I'm just
you
kidding.
cannot.
We have a question here.
Hi, Ambika. I'm
Hi.
Nati from your own city and MC from your city. So my question is, I know that the wedding industry has grown, evolved and all of that, but what is that one thing you still feel that the wedding industry has to work on, or that one thing that we still need to improve on?
Can we have the contract slide? Okay. So I learned it the hard way. How many of you have contracts as designers in this industry? Who all work with contracts here? Not planners, designers. Okay, very few. That's a very bad thing, right? So the thing is, the fact that this is not turned professional enough is my problem. When I now work across borders, I am able to put everything into my contract, because if we as a client and designer do not respect each other, or as a planner and designer don't respect each other, that's the first boundary we are crossing of a project not going good. When you have everything documented, when you have that these many people are going to travel for a recce, that you want business class tickets, that you want, these are the dates of your deliverables which are going to go on. It makes the person in front of you at ease. It safeguards you from a financial disaster. It also leads to certain decorum. So I think one thing which has not been concentrated on, I think two things, is taking more money in white. That is one. Second thing is taking a charge on contracts. That's what I would think. What do you think for you? Do you work with contracts?
I would say as a photographer, I wish somebody worked on remastering the rituals itself. Like the South has picked up customs from the North and North has picked up customs from the South, but nobody is sitting there and saying, hey, let's not do 8 hours of Omam, right? 9 hours of, because the couple are not enjoying it. So most of the time I'm standing there and thinking, why have we not changed this particular thing? Why do we have to sit for 8 hours or 9 hours of Omam and rituals that many times doesn't make sense?
So you're saying change
remaster
the,
it?
there's not been a change in the actual
ritual
ritual
yeah.
system in India. Okay.
Yeah, we have inspired, we have taken a lot of inspirations from so many things, but we have not changed that. It is also the fear of, the religion, fear with the priest and all that. So I wish somebody changed that. But
okay.
there are some religious institutions which are doing it beautifully, and those weddings are amazing.
I think I would like to highlight, I don't think, first of all, we've introduced him very well. Amar is somebody I look up to. He is somebody who has crossed boundaries. Like, look at what he's doing. I don't know how many of you follow Amar Ramesh. Please follow Amar Ramesh on Instagram. But I would say that this man has single-handedly transcended the boundary of photography. Not only has he proved his craft there, he works with the Tamil Nadu government to uplift dying art. The fact that he's just released his book. I mean, when we talk about, also this is a very good branding exercise, which he will obviously not accept that he's doing it silently. But the thing is, when I first attended my conference in DWP in Mexico, the first thing they said is, if you want to grow, always develop two brands, which is your own personal brand and your company brand. Your personal brand is as important as your work brand. So Amar also has a personal page and a page where he showcases his work. I have a personal page of Ambitrix, and we have, please don't ask me why it was called that, but that's a separate story. But and I have a work page, right? Now it is extremely important that you see how he has on his own personal page as well tried to break the barrier of just photography and gone into humanitarian causes, gone into causes, not because he's marketing, but that's also because something which ethos with him. That's his USP. Like I said, your USP is not just your creativity, it is also causes that you stand for that can help in sideline developing a personal brand and this brand. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
I think it's incredible, and we don't talk about it. Sahitya wants to say something.
I absolutely love the camaraderie and the mutual fan club that's going on stage, but I am going to interrupt that because we have a question right here.
Mr. Vikram.
Hi, I'm Ambika, big fan. My name is Vikram.
Your voice is cut. I can't hear you.
Okay,
You can say that again, Vikram.
I'm big fan of your work. My name is Vikram. I've been following you for like over 10
So
years.
just saying, Vikram and I just did a wedding in Russell Kaima, and we both got a standing ovation from our guests, and he's an incredible planner. Like, genuinely saying that. Not because I worked with him, but he's incredible. He's one of the only people I know, or I have seen to that level, that he stands like masking the bride till she's walked and like doing his entry. So kudos to you. Human shield, yes. Okay, your question.
My question is, and no, I mean very honestly.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Just keep the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So my question to you is, how intimidated are you by competition?
Okay.
Do you, I mean, of course, we know the whole threat and opportunity bit with competition, but the business you're in terms of designing, it's very conspicuous, right? It's ideation, what you create, it's very conspicuous. Everyone sees this, unlike what planners do, right? I can have my own formulas. What you do is out there. How threatened or intimidated are you by competition? That's part one. And the other thing I want to know is, how do you handle if your visions are overlapping with another renowned designer at any point where you feel something you're doing is pretty synonymous to work of some other reputed designer? How do you handle that?
Okay, so to your first question, there are two parts to it. One is an ideal part, which I do follow. I have always believed, I knew from the age of 10 and 11 that I always felt this energy between my hands that I was meant to create, okay? Having said that, I went through the engineering route to going to IIT and then being a planner, like something management I did, till realizing that my heart lies with design and shedding all of those layers. I think my competition has always been me and my mind. I think I have a very restless mind, and for me, the competition is always to get in control with this. That has been my first and foremost competition. Having said that, when you start growing in this industry, especially, I don't know how many of you felt this, we all felt a burnout during this season. This season was like no other season that I've ever seen. It was insane. We all died. My team died. I think all of us are just waiting for my turkey wedding to get over and be alive. I think when you reach this level, this is 10 years in the industry now, 7 years in weddings, you tend to be compared more than you want to your counterparts, right? So it does play on you. It does give you anxiety. My way of doing it is I follow everyone, but I mute everyone's stories. मैं बहुत अपनी favorite हूँ. I watch my own stories daily. I just watch that. Sometimes, if I'm really bored, I watch other people's stories. So I have had people complaining that, oh, you didn't see my Instagram update. It's because it gives me anxiety. I'm already an overthinker. If I see somebody's work and I feel like, oh, why did that person get a celebrity wedding and I didn't, it troubles me. So then I go back to my team, which by the way is here. Those fabulous people are behind the console also. They are my reality checks because I make sure I hire people who have at least 2 or 3 qualities better than me. And they are incredible at what they do and they ground me. So whenever I compare, they would say, ma'am, but what is it for you to compare? You're doing it on your own. So I think when you face that, you have to have your own reality checks, your parents, your close friends, your family who need to ground you, and that's what grounds me. So whenever I feel overwhelmed, I go back to people who root me, and that's what I do. But like, of course, it troubles me sometimes. I'm not a yogi like him who's concentrating on his breath every day and thinking, okay, you know, I'm not as evolved as Amar. These incredible people over here, that's my team. Some of them are missing in this picture. But I think like for me, I always say this, the reason A-Cube grew to where it was, it's because of its people. And the people, whether old ex-employees, new employees, we have to learn to understand that they need to be better than us. And we need to make them leaders in their individual departments. I've seen Vikram do it. I've seen Amar have an incredible team where he leaves it. He's going, can I share? He's going for 2 months to some place, we'll not disclose it. And he's got a team backing him to do it. So I think, but if he did not give that to his team, then they will not support him when he needs a break. So we need to understand that for me, the work-life balance is here. Am I balancing my team? Am I giving them enough? Am I providing them enough for them to be able to provide to me? So my first question I've answered. The second one which you asked me was what was this question? I forgot.
So I'll add one more
Sorry, I
simple
forgot your
point
question.
to the competition thing, right? Like, yes, we are our own competition, all that is good. But many times I also think, see, especially photography, almost 8 to 9 lakh people come out every year from Viscom and want to become photographers. And this one of the fields where there's no barriers, right? Like so many people are coming in. But by just doing simple, commonsensical things, you are way ahead of your competition, right? Like for example, be professional. Like she said, have a contract, have meetings with the clients. You become one step ahead. Be disciplined with your work, one step ahead. Be constant learner, one step ahead. These are very, very basic, commonsensical thing that you have to do. And every small things you do, you're going way up ahead.
The first thing is always your work. You have to understand that you have to, like the reason he's taking a 2-month off is to invest in himself. Because only when you invest within you is when you will be able to give output as a designer. So when you hit a burnout, it is very important that we also look at rejuvenating ourselves. And how do you, like, I think the second question is how you said, how do you be relevant, right? That's what you asked in the second question?
I said it's visual based. A lot of what you do is very visual based.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that's it?
So I'll show you something. I've got some slides which I can probably just show you one of the immersive experiences that we created right now. It was Starry Night and it kind of went viral. Yeah. So can we lower the lights and play this? Can we have the sound on? Anita, just go back and play it again. Can we lower the lights? The sound is off.
Can we have the audio for the video, please, and start from the beginning, if you don't mind?
Okay, go on to the next. Okay, you can imagine the audio, it's fine.
I believe the console is quite enamored with you that they aren't even looking down to switch the sound on. Ambika, you have this effect
So
on
if
people.
you see, this is the dome that we created, and we created projection mapping, and it created a complete immersive experience. But how did this start, right? So this last year, every time we finish a season, all of us sit together as a team and we talk about what's next. We have a next time list, which we say that these were our clients, this went right, this went wrong, and what's next that we can do next season to be a better version of ourselves. When I do study my competition, but I don't do it myself. Oh, now the audio comes. Okay. Sorry, let's watch it.
I can't love you in the dark. It feels like we're oceans apart. There's so much space between us. Baby, we're already defeated. Everything changed me. You have given me something that I can't live without. You mustn't underestimate that when you are in doubt.
Ambika, can I just say that looks absolutely stunning. Can we please give her a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Due to paucity of time, we're going to wrap up with this.
Yes, sure. So can we just go on to the next slide quickly? Next. So this year we moved to moving mood boards, where we develop a concept where everything would be slides and visuals. So we can quickly, Anita, we can just quickly go through this so that we don't waste their time. So we go on to, there are a bunch of people I've worked with here, so they know that we do very intense 3Ds, where in our design fee we have a deliverable where we give everything on 3D to a level where it goes into detailed drawings, detailed things. So in a field which is visual, it's important that what is your what's next. So I've invested in interior designers and architects and in a lot of computers in my office where we work on intense 3Ds, and this has enabled me to work worldwide. So if you want to scale up, today I'm doing a wedding in Turkey for 600 people. It's in Lujo, and it's a huge, massive venue, right? And how we are able to do that is that we go and map the venue completely. We do it on 3D. We literally mimic the place, and then we go into making the place look realistic. So what happens is that when we go through the intense process of design, you negate what will come to me on the deliverable. So once you work on that visual content and you're able to show at least 90% of what you're going to do, it helps in cutting the thing that, oh, you did not give me this much after the wedding, so you might have your money cut lesser. You also negate the whole thing of the anxiety which your couple is going to feel. So you're giving more to your client, and hence you're charging more. And that is just another form of growth. So if you see what you saw in the video, it is done to this level where we do like our flowers, how it's going to look. So when we go to a florist, it's easy for me to say, I want my flowers to be done this way. Of course, we sample it later on, but that's how we intensely do our 3D and then get into producing it. I mean, it's really intense how it goes through.
But absolutely lovely for you to share that process here with us today. Thank you so very much. Yesterday, we had someone who said we ought to be happy with 60%. And I love the fact that you're more interested in 90 and 100%. You're finally speaking in numbers that we like and appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please give Ambika a huge round of applause?
Thank you.
As always, so much to learn, so much to take away. Thank you once again. And Amar, as humble as you are for future events, please get Ambika to record a voiceover to introduce you better. I think
No,
Ambika
you
has been-
introduced him better, for sure. I'm saying just generally, okay.
But thank you once
Thank you,
again.
guys. Thank
we have
you.
2 people who do us here in Chennai very, very proud. Thank you once again. If I can have you step forward for a picture, please, both of you. And ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We have a session with all the GMs of the hotels in Mahabalipuram. You're all planners. If you want to be doing weddings here, you better stay back because you want these gentlemen to pick up your phone call when you're planning your next wedding.